Afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is Toyin Umasiri, depending on where you're joining from. It's morning time, afternoon, or evening. Today, I'm going to be talking about understanding entrepreneurship and leadership fundamentals. So, if this is your first time of joining any of my live sessions, you're welcome. My name is Toyin again. I'm the founder and CEO of Nizaru, the Trade with Africa Business Summit. I serve as a leadership and success coach, and I teach entrepreneurship and international trade. So, welcome to my space. I'm happy to have you here. Please drop your notes. Let us know where you're joining from. And if you have any questions, if you've watched before and you have any questions from previous editions, feel free to drop that as well. I'll get right to it. Okay, today it's about understanding entrepreneurship and leadership fundamentals. So here's the deal. I always like to use analogies, right? So the analogy I'm going to use today is around losing weight. Okay. In general, we all know what it takes, like generally takes to lose weight. Eat less, exercise more, lots of water, right? Sleep well. That's the basics. In business, most people also know the basics, right? Create a product or a service and find customers and sell it, right? That's really the basics, right? But you and I know that if that's really what it takes, then we all should be living, the dream life, right? If it's as easy as that, you know, eat less, drink more water, exercise more, sleep. If that's all it takes to lose weight, then we all should be no, but the reality is that's not it, right? It takes so much more. The first thing that it takes is each leader must engage in the process. Okay? The process, the entrepreneurship process, the losing weight process, whatever journey you want to go on, for you to achieve the desired results, you first have to engage in the process, right? We may all wish for you to achieve success. I may wish for you your ideal weight. I wish it upon you, okay? I wish for you all the success you desire. That's true. I really do wish everybody the success they desire. But each person, if you want it, you have to engage in the process, right? No matter how much someone like myself that we serve as a coach and a guide, we're cheering you on, we're inspiring you. If you don't want it, you don't want it. And just saying you want it, we all want it, but do you want it bad enough to invest in the process and to sweat out? Okay. If this is your first time again, welcome. Those who have been on this journey with me, they already know who I am. They already know what to expect. But thank you, Rubel, for joining. Thank you, Narciso, for joining. Let me know where you're joining from. Thank you, A2 Ideas, for joining on Instagram. So we have Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and other platforms. So you might see me turn my head a little bit. So today I'm talking about understanding entrepreneurship and leadership fundamentals. And I really did start with using an analogy of what it takes. What does it take to win? What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur? What does it take to be a successful leader? What does it take to be, all to achieve all the success that you desire? And I started with this analogy that just like in losing weight, generally speaking, we know what it takes, right? We know. And here's the deal, because we know, or because we think we know, are we failing to actually sign up and enroll in the process, right? Because we actually think we know, right? You know too much that maybe we're not actually engaging, right? So here's the deal. We know it takes eating less, exercising more, sleeping better, all of those things. We know it's creating products, creating services, niching down, all the lingo, right? Business model, value proposition, all of those things. But if just knowing those basics is what it takes, then we all should be achieving everything we need. Narciso is joining us from Mozambique. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I see T Noni Alim. Thank you for joining on Instagram as well. So, yes, we need to understand that just like in losing weight, right? It's strategy. First of all, you have to engage in the process, right? Nobody would do that work for you, right? It takes a lot of pain. You can't outsource that process, right? You may want to bypass the process, but the reality is the process is the process. The way you grow muscles is to exercise. The way you lose weight is to do all those things, right? So knowing or perceiving or thinking is step one. Let's just call that step one, right? Engaging, acquiring skill. And here's the deal along that analogy, right? You may know the steps, or let's say it's around strategy and tactics and principles, right? But you might say, I want to do some exercise steps. I used to have a like a fitness coach, right? What she would do is she'll come to my house and she would show me how to use like the kettlebell. She would not just tell me how to do a lunge or whatever they call it, or squats. She will actually show me how to perfect that move, right? So I may be watching other people do all of these things doesn't mean you know how to do it for yourself. Watching other entrepreneurs win doesn't mean you actually know how to implement it for your own business, right? So it's the same thing with exercise. We watch people and they make it look easy. They're like doing this, doing that. But when I signed up for a fitness coach right there with me, I would try and make that move and she would fix it and correct me, right? I would make my own attempt. And then she would say, no, go lower, right? Go lower. Like for you to achieve the desired results, go lower. Ouch, my muscle. Yeah, you need to engage your muscle. Go lower. Also in entrepreneurship, until you start implementing those things and practicing those things, those principles for yourself, and having a coach to say, try again. Because they might tell you, okay, go on social media. The first attempt is like big failure. Well, guess what? If you have a coach, the person would say, test it out, go at it, tweak your message, adjust it, right? And that's why the Entrepreneurship and Leadership Academy that I have, that's what we do, right? That's what I do, is serving people, guiding them, encouraging them, inspiring them, coaching them to success. Again, but you have to enroll in that process. You can't outsource. Sometimes, when people hear me speak, whether on international trade or entrepreneurship, right? People come with their list of thinking I will do the work. No, I can't lose weight for you, right? People have to, I can show you how. I will show you how. I will share with you best practices. I will coach you. It's like the teacher. If you're in school, the teacher will be there to teach you the principles, but you have to practice. The teacher will be there to look at what you're doing, and if he sees that you need more expertise, or you have an error, they will teach you the principles, they will tell you the equation, but at the end of the day, as a student, you still have to you still have to do your work. You have to have take home assignments. Like people I work with, that I coach one-on-one, I'll give you the principles, give you the strategies, give you the tactics, but then I'll send you home with an assignment, just like my fitness coach will do for me. Like after she comes to my house and tell me, do this, do this, do this, 3 repetitions, 4 repetitions of this move, that move, she gives me this equation. She would have showed me how to do it, but then she would check up, which is the power of accountability, which is what I also do. Many people don't appreciate my process. Why? I hold people accountable. So for me, I have a criteria of the types of people that I work with. They have to be disciplined. They have to say what they mean. So if you tell me you're going to work on it, I will believe you. And if you tell me we're meeting next Wednesday as a follow up, I will trust you that you'll be there, that you will be where you say you will be. And I will show up and I will check on you. You told me you were going to do A, B, C, D. Did you do it? And most people that don't like accountability, you can't work with me. Sorry. Because I'm extremely disciplined. All the things you see me do, I discipline. Like there's so many things I do. Like, I have a friend that's asked me, like, how do you do it? I need this. I'm like, for years, the work that I've done before, Like I'm just fierce like that. Like you don't need to watch over my shoulder. That's why I don't like micromanagement. Like I don't. Now, so if you're disciplined and you do what you say you would do, and then so you get more space, right? You get more space. So for me, the reason I don't like micromanagers is because I manage myself well, like particularly in certain areas. Now, the area where I need help, like I'm just publicly sharing, is fitness. Like and I sought help in that dimension, right? I'm a mom of three. So don't moms understand. I've been down that road, right? So in business, when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, all of those things, I am fierce. Project management, I'm fierce. The area where I admit that, Toyin, if you want that desired result, you need extra help, right? I've used dietitians before, like when I was pregnant, like I've done so many things. So I know each person, you all get to have that. If you have that discipline, also be honest with yourself. Like, be honest. Most times people are not honest. But anyway, let's move away from that. So it's this idea that understanding the principle, having a coach to guide you, but then being accountable is part of the process, right? Either to yourself. Now, if you're accountable to yourself, that's the best scenario ever. Nobody needs to check on you. But the reality is that every single day is not the same. There are days where you're energized, you're focused, you knock those things out. And then there are days, honestly, where you just need encouragement. That's where a community comes in. So, my Entrepreneurship and Leadership Academy is a community of people going in the same direction under my leadership and coaching, sharing courses, programs, events that will help you. It's all those things packaged together. It's similar to what I had to do for the international trade, which is more mature and more advanced. So, not everybody is ready for the international market, the more advanced stuff. Like I do a lot of things there. But this is really the fundamentals, leadership and I bundled leadership and entrepreneurship into the same bucket. So when you hear me talk about the game plan, leadership and success coaching, I also coupled it in this academy. So members of my academy also participate in my leadership program because as a business leader, as a business owner, you need to see yourself as a leader. Please. You're leading yourself, you're leading your company, you're leading your staff, you're leading your customers, you're leading your clients. So you have to see yourself as a leader. That's why I brought those two things together because I can teach you marketing, I can teach you branding, I can explain why the logic, right? Because I teach at business schools and in my own private practice. I can teach you, but I'm realizing that without leadership or a success and a champion mindset, people will be like, they doubt themselves, right? They doubt themselves. Like they're like, "Ooh, somebody's judging you." No, no, nobody would. Anyway, let me not start talking to anybody as if you're a member. There are certain things I say in the community to help with mindset coaching, entrepreneurship coaching, leadership coaching, all bundled together. And then when you're ready to go to the next level in terms of international, there's a different space and it's more advanced because we start talking about government, right? Export policies, investor management, like it's investor relation. It's more so. Initially, I wanted to bundle this thing. I thought it was just too much for people. So if you're still new to entrepreneurship, or even maybe 5 years in, or even more, right? You never know. Like there's so much stuff that I teach from a standpoint of design thinking. So I have a design thinking background, retail background, and all of those things. So distribution network, all of those things, sales planning, sales channels, marketing, branding, all of those things is what I teach in the practice. So again, if you're just joining, I see smoke detectors. Thank you for joining. um Edton Jose, thank you for joining. John, thank you for joining. I appreciate that. So basically, that's what I wanted to share today is that just like in losing weight, just saying, oh, yes, eat more, eat less, sorry, eat less, exercise more, lots of water, sleep well. That's the principle. Those are the basic, right? But to actually achieve the desired results, you have to engage in the process. You have to get on that treadmill, right? To really participate in entrepreneurship, you have to make a decision. I know there are times when people do one leg in, one leg out, but you get what you put into it, right? The effort matters. If somebody's telling you effort doesn't matter, I don't agree. Effort, intentionality matters, right? The passion behind it matters. And now also the strategy, tactics. Strategy is looking at the different approach you could take and deciding the best approach for you. So also in losing weight, right? People will tell you keto diet, this diet, that diet, fad, all of those things. But at the end of the day, your expert coach would say, given your unique needs and your target goal, yes, we know there are 10 ways you could go with marketing. Yes, we know there are 20 ways you could do branding. But given what it is you're trying to do and your unique needs, strategy is designing a clear path that you're going to take. And most of the time, you need to test it out over time for you to actually achieve or decide on the best approach. Unfortunately, people that don't do this, they see people doing A, B, C, D tactics, and they start borrowing different things, and they test it 1 week, it doesn't work. They say, oh, maybe I didn't do it well. Try, and 6 months later, no real progress. You know why? It's because the first thing is understanding the different approaches. You could test it out, but then the end game is what is best for you. It's not what is best for them. What is best for you is the personalized approach. So for me, that's what I do. Just because everybody tells you to be jumping on reels. No, I might do one, two, three. That's it. But I don't live in that world of reels. But guess what? Many people, because that's all you've heard, that's all you think is good for you. You're jumping up, dancing. You don't know the impact it's having to your brand. Yes, on one note, you say you want to work with high stakeholders, but you are doing things that will make people not to take you seriously. I say, well, let me zip, right? But depending on the brand and the strategic positioning you want to have in the marketplace, that should determine what you're doing and how you're showing up. Okay, if you say you want to be a thought leader, okay, versus you want to just sell consumer goods, totally different tactic strategy, totally different. Total, like, it should be different, guys. It should be different. Yesterday, I was just catching up with someone I met on Clubhouse, and I was telling her, okay, let me just give you a trick. Okay. I was trying to tell her that even as an entrepreneur, while you're busy serving your customers and clients, don't forget to build your own personal profile, because your customers and your clients would not take you to where you're going. You might serve them based on what you have. This is complicated. Okay, let me try and make it more practical. And please drop a question if you have. That will help make this interactive, because sometimes I hesitate. I don't know if you tell. There's so many things I'm like, should I say that? Should I not? Because I'm pushing myself really hard. I don't know if you know it. Like, I'm showing up in new ways and sharing behind the scenes that I typically would never have shared. Like, if you knew me 2, 3 years ago, like I wasn't doing this, right? So if I hesitate, this is the way you really enjoy this process is if you ask questions. I'm just putting it out there because I will share the barest minimum. I'm being very direct. I say it as it is. I will share what I want to share, and I'm giving my best to my members. In my membership, people ask questions, I serve them, I coach because I'm interested in their success, right? Right? They pay for a particular level of investment on my part. So in a way, I'm not invested. I'm not invested in you until you invest, which is one of my motto for 2022 is this idea that I will invest in people who invest. So I'm just putting that generally. Oh, Kobolaji, it's good to see you. We're meeting later today. Hey, Tony. So how would one use thought leadership to sell consumer products? Great question. Let me repeat that for those on Instagram that are not, they can't see what you just typed. She said, how would one use thought leadership to sell consumer products? Okay, we're living in an era where people can buy, I bet people can buy most products, like they have a lot of options. Okay. Unless you are in a very, very, very distinct space where there's only one of you as a service provider, then you are their only choice. But you talked about consumer product. What it means is consumers have options. If you're selling a commodity, customers have options. So understand that. That's the first thing. However, we're also living in an era where people are not just buying a product, they're also buying information about that product. So what it means is sometimes before people make purchase decision, when they're searching online or on YouTube or on Google, right? They're not just searching for the product, they're searching for reviews, they're searching for instructions, they're searching for more information about why they should buy that product. Do we all agree that? Thought leadership is when your information and the knowledge about the product and service you're providing pushes you above your competition in such a way enough that you become a go-to expert in not just the product you're selling, but in your ideas and the information and the expertise you've showcased. I hope that helps. The reason I'm going dive is that Kobolaji is a member of my academy. So I'm serving now, but we're having more one-on-one meeting later today. Okay. So thought leadership is you going beyond just a commodity service. Buy this, buy that. In a way, Amazon does this well because when you go on Amazon before 10 years ago, Amazon will just show you product price description. Boom. No, not anymore. Today, you start seeing videos of how to use the products, right? If it's say cosmetic makeup, they will start giving you use it this way, use it that way, because if it's just about the product, you can buy it. You can even walk into a store and buy it. No, thought leadership now elevates you that you don't just know, you're not just selling the product, you also walk your customers through their journey, their buying decision journey, that you hold their hands, you support them on that journey as they're making a decision. Because the final, when you're looking at the sales journey, the customer sales journey, right? Most people don't understand design thinking that the time when a customer decides to swipe their card, the distance between that time that they're buying from you versus their first exposure to your product or you could be months. So the journey could be short or months or even a year or 2 years. Okay. But in that 2-year process or 6 months, customers are constantly looking not just at the product, but the thought leadership you're demonstrating. But again, most people they may not understand this side of things. Is that the decision making process for customers is different. I hope that helps, but we'll talk more about it when we meet. Okay. Any other questions as I'm going to wrap up? I'm looking at time. I'm trying to keep this shorter now. I know at the beginning of the year, I was out here just structuring my new approach, but now I think I can pack things into say a good 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Again, I think I gave you the trick. You ask more questions, I'll answer more questions. You don't ask questions, I'll keep, even if it's 15 minutes, I'll come here, being dead, I'll just keep it 15 minutes, say what's on my mind, and I'll run away, right? But if you guys ask questions, that's the trick. Okay, Kabalaji says that helps a lot. I'm sitting here thinking of how I've decided to purchase, and I see what you mean. Yes, yes, yes. It's what we call customer journey, and we map it using design thinking, and we follow the path of the customer, right? We follow their path because different customers discover you through different means, right? Social media is one, but different channels can bring different types of customers, right? LinkedIn, you like it's those. That's what I mean by the fundamentals of entrepreneurship and leadership. It's not just knowing that you need to get a product, get a service, and then sell it to customers and clients. That's the basic, but there's a science to it. There's a skill set to it. You test this out, you test different things out, and then ultimately you want to arrive at what works best for what it is you're trying to do. So I guess my appeal to those who are looking for strategy, don't just do what other people are doing, right? So, for example, I don't. And I was also saying that, for example, yesterday when I was talking to someone I met on Clubhouse, I was trying to tell her that while you're busy serving your customers and your clients, keep serving them. Many people miss the process of elevating their own profile. Like they forget to build their own brand, their own personal brand, and keep growing themselves. It, it's different, right? Depending on your own end game. You know, when I talk about the game plan, I have a game plan. I'm not just here to serve customers. I operate at different levels. I work with different types of people for different things. So for those who know me, I also shared earlier that I've been appointed by US Secretary of whatever. So I play different roles in different communities. So while I'm out here serving the needs, I actually created the Entrepreneurship Academy, the International Trade Network, to serve as a path for people who want to go to the next level of business, right? Leadership. That's my why. While I'm doing that, okay? Okay, I'm giving you guys behind the scene. While I'm doing that's not the only thing I do. I had to prioritize this because everything people are telling me they want to do, they need skill, coaching. That's why I became a coach for this. It doesn't mean that that's all I do. In certain spaces, when I host events, I'm a convener of international trade summits where I bring governments, investors, trade experts together. In that space, I don't tell them I'm a coach. I serve. So I guess because again, that's why you shouldn't, don't just do what everybody, I do not do what everybody says you have to do. Why? I have three different communities I serve. One community here, I'll keep telling you I'm a coach because in that community, I'm guiding, coaching them. There's another community where I'm making high level connections for people. I help mature people to that space, but I won't, you have to be coached into that world. That's why I had to create a space where I'm not going to put my name behind certain people. In fact, today I was just still, even yesterday, I still spoke to somebody that my conclusion is everybody coming to me, Tony, make a connection. No, go through my program. When you go through my coaching program, then we are now thinking alike. At that point, I have explained everything. I now trust that you have your entrepreneurship fundamentals in place. You're a leader that can be trusted because I have coached you under my leadership. At that point, you can now go to certain spaces with me. That's my own game plan. Yours, you have to decide. So while I'm doing this, you see me in this capacity, you are just seeing a dimension. In other spaces, like this Friday, I'm doing some meetings where it's government. So I'm saying, please, please, please have a strategy. That's all I'm saying. And if you need support for that strategy and mindset, join my membership, right? Because you can see our 2022 calendar. So it's very transparent in terms of each month. Like this month, you've been hearing me talk about the game plan, 12 strategies for winning. Any of my members, my premium members, right? They're enrolled to that program. If you're not a member, you can always sign up independently, and it will be more expensive because my members sign up for 12 years of everything. I'm sorry, not 12 years, 12 months of all monthly programs, events. But non-members, you're also welcome to sign up, to each anything I'm saying. Oh, the game plan. If you're interested, sign up. If you're interested in my courses, you can go to toyinmesiri.com. So I just let people decide. But guess what? I'm saying while I'm doing all of that, I also have game plan for other things. Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense. I hope it does. Just have a strategy that means something to where you're going. That's all I'm saying. Because I see people, they tell you jump on reels, you jump. You are using 100% of your capacity in just, you're putting all your eggs in that basket. And if that thing fails, that's it. I'm saying don't do that. Don't just do, like, if you're in my program, see, I'm repeating myself. This is me. I can be a broken record because, again, once you're in my membership, I'm like, no, let's build a strategy for what it is you're trying to achieve, right? Leadership, success mindset, embrace the mindset of a champion. You're going to need it on your journey. Communication, you're going to need it. Communicating with your stakeholders, stakeholder assessment, you're going to need it. These are all the things I do behind the scenes. So that's why sometimes I hesitate, right? Like, I'm like, everybody should know what they need to do, right? Right? Like, for years, right? I do my own thing. I used to serve as a strategist to executives at Fortune 1 Walmart, right? So I do my own thing. I manage those things, but I'm realizing that um, when people tell me everything that they want to do, I'm constantly asking myself, what would I what would I teach them, right? How would I coach them to think differently? What skill set do I use today that helps me, that I can pass on? And how do I structure it? And that's what I've done. So even in building a business, like, it's a lifestyle for me. Like, I'm not building something that would that will over I want to live life. See, this is why I teach people strategy will save you time. See, as I'm going live right now, it's let me also break it down. I want to be very practical. When it comes to, for example, social media, everybody tells you to be everywhere, right? That's what they tell you. Look at my strategy. Watch what I do. Don't just listen to what I say. As I'm going live right now, in the 30 minutes I'm going to spend online, I'm reaching multiple platforms. Instagram, and a whole lot of, at least 7 platforms are being touched. Why? I don't have time to be jumping from one platform to the other because of what? No, I will commit 30 minutes to an hour to do this, right? I will do it really well. I will enjoy it. I'm smiling. I'll give great content. I'll serve the community out here. And then I move on with my life. But meanwhile, some people are spending 15 hours doing all. If it works for you, please, more grace. I can, I don't, I can, it's not me. It's not me. Barest minimum. My strategy, I have my first degree is mathematics. There might be 10 ways of solving the same equation. I'm always looking for the most optimized, least effort, maximum impact. And that's what I teach. David and Goliath, find your stone. You know why? I've worked with the world's largest company. You cannot compete if you're a small business up to a threshold. The heavy weight of the heavy Goliath of Fortune 500 on social media, they employ hundreds of, when they're doing commercial campaign, they pay thousands, even millions of dollars. Super Bowl ads, millions of dollars to secure attention. And you want to compete with that. David and Goliath, find your stone. Strategy is finding what you have the capacity to do consistently that gets you the desired results. The other thing people don't know, why I'm saying don't just do what other people are doing, is because most people build mega businesses. Like, you listen to some people on Clubhouse, they'll say this. Guess what? They come online, they do certain things, then they go on Facebook and build ads that you will never know. They come online on social to test, A/B testing, what we call A/B testing. Which content works best? Excuse me, they're observing reactions, they're testing A/B testing, they're testing landing pages. The moment they find the winning source, they take that winning source and they put funds, thousands of dollars behind Facebook ads, Google ads, Twitter ads. They do that A/B test, they pump it, and for every dollar they are putting in, because they've done the A/B test, they know which one is most optimized. They've done their what's it called? when we refine the words, by writing to inspire is different from copywriting, right? So they've engineered that landing page, they've hired a copywriter, they paid that copywriter thousands of dollars. The copywriter engineered the landing page. The creative that they will use to funnel people to that landing page, they've tested it out on Instagram. You guys have reacted, clapped for them, put comment. They know which ones, they've done the A/B testing, they know the creative that will generate the best results. They've engineered the landing page that will convert the most. They take all of that. They also have measured the conversion rate. They take it to Facebook that you would never know. They put 5,000, 10K, 20K, 100, because they know for every dollar, they've already saying like it converts at this percentage. So depending on how much they want to make, they can actually backtrack like how much should they pour into to push behind this creative. So they put that creative on the ad. They know it converts at so. They know how many people, or they can estimate. See, again, I have a first degree in mathematics. Okay, so data, my background in retail, I'm telling you for real. Okay. So let's say they put the ad out there. The creative, for every impression, they know what percentage will click on it. For every click that goes to the landing page, they've already measured how that conversion happens, and they just sit back and the money starts rolling in. Cling, 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 cling. They've engineered the process, and you are spending 100 hours on reels. If it's working, fine. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I'm just like, so for me, my point is just like in losing weight, you don't do whatever. Oh, today is paleo diet, tomorrow keto, tomorrow this, tomorrow that. Fantastic, know everything out there. But at the end of the day, strategy is what is best for you. Given what you're trying to achieve, the skill sets you have, the resources, the limited resources you have, where should you be showing up? What should you be investing in? How should you be going about it? That's what I mean by fundamental strategies mindset. If you don't narrow that down and build that down, you will be trying all kinds of things, doing everything people are doing, and you may not get the results. So anyway, just watch what I do. So again, I can afford to do an hour, but I've engineered my own process. I'm saying, Toyin, you have ABCD things. You have a 12-month calendar. You're hosting events. You're doing this. You're all over doing ABCD for different groups of people. Okay, you are design what is going to work for Toyin, and that's what I've done. So you see me in certain spaces do certain things. In fact, even in business model engineering, I had to design what works for me. Again, it's what I teach other people. Don't just do everything out there. So you hear me talk about, I basically gave what I designed for myself is steps for those who want to work with me. At the very top of the house, you have one-on-one. I also do certain things for organization, so you can work as an individual or as an entity. So there are certain entities that approach me. I teach in business school, so they approach me not just to come and teach them as an individual, but to bring the knowledge that I have to the executive students. So I do that. I also do that for individuals. So at the highest top of the house is that. What I've also done for certain people is the next level down, group membership. Okay, you don't have the budget to work with me at that level. Fine, that's fine. Do you have the capacity to engage in a group program? Right? Community, group coaching, group programs, group events, courses bundled together, annual membership, right? So first is entity, work with me as an entity. So business schools approach me, I work with them. Other things I won't talk about, it's not relevant here. But yeah, so that one-on-one as an individual, as an executive, that's there. If you don't have that budget, then I drop it down. Membership, group membership. You're going to have monthly programs, right? Weekly coaching for some months, all of that. You can find it at towing.academy. Just type towing.academy in your browser. Don't put .com. toyinumesiri.academy. Just type that in. Okay, group. Now, if you're not ready for group, there's another layer down. Just access individual courses and programs at your own leisure, at your own pace. You won't get me. You get the bundled programs, but you won't get me. So that's what I've had to do for myself. And that's what I coach other people. So when people come to me and say, I'm trying to do this, I then look at, okay, based on who you are, what you're trying to do, the capacity that you have, let's design something let's build a foundation, and then you can build on. Right? So it's personalized. But again, so I'm trying to share what I would say and recommend that you do for yourself. But people that don't do that, again, you just like tossed here and there by the wind. Like the Bible says, like, today it's this, tomorrow is that. No, tomorrow there might be something else. In fact, I'm looking forward to LinkedIn audio. Like, I just put in my request. I have special requests. So I'm looking for, look, maybe I shouldn't put that out there. Sorry, I retract. I take that back. Zip. There are so many things behind the scene that I'm like, Toyin, be quiet. They're not paying you enough for this. Trust me. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm in between sharing and not sharing. And I've given you the trick. The way I would share more is if you ask questions. Otherwise, I'll give you and then I'll go on. So thank you, everybody. Do check out Toyin.academy. Again, not .com. It's Toyin Umesiri. I think, should I shorten it to Toyin? I'm always saying Toyin. Toyinumesiri.academy. It's the Entrepreneurship and Leadership Academy. And you can also see on that page our 12-month calendar. We're going to be teaching fundamentals from customers to your business model, how you make money, how you're going to design a business model that works for you, your lifestyle, your capacity, your budget, right? Remember, personalize these things. If you want to lose weight, it's not enough to say, eat less, exercise more, sleep well, drink water. We know that. Beyond that, if everybody that knows that, is that working for you? You need support, you need expert coaching, you need so much more. The same is true in business. So let's not be quote unquote arrogant, thinking, oh, I know the basics of, is it not products, services, find customers, sell it, is it not marketing? Fine. But I'm here to tell you there are tactics, strategies that will work best for you. Invest in that. I usually tell you people, books. Invest in books. If you think you know, you're only getting the results based on what you know. So even if it's not me you want to work with, I'm just appealing to you. The way you're going to win is you need to have more information. The other day I shared knowledge is your power. It's the same thing. More knowledge, more power. More understanding, more power. Then bringing in that knowledge and applying expert wisdom and experience to design a path that would, should I say, accelerate your progress. That's what I'm talking about. Knowledge, right? Skill, practice, strategy, tactics. Okay, should I say that again? Get more knowledge, like pursue more knowledge. Learn what, like, I'm reading a book now on the guy Salesforce, like what he did. Go and buy that book. I don't know the title of the book, but it's one of those books I'm reading, like the leader of Salesforce, right? Salesforce.com, how he built Salesforce. So get knowledge. You cannot have too much knowledge, my people. Knowledge. Read the stories of major successful entrepreneurs. Go get those books, more knowledge. But I'm saying, after you have knowledge, knowledge is not skill set. You can have the knowledge of how to make spaghetti. You can have the recipe. But an expert chef that has had 30 years of being in a kitchen has more skill than you. Knowledge, we can give you knowledge. Skill is what you do practicing under a coach. So that's why I designed our monthly programs, is that I'll teach you a principle, I'll teach you a strategy, and then the remaining weeks, you have to You'll be held accountable to implement it in your business. And then we'll come together and say, okay, how did that work out? So if I tell you social media, okay, let's just say we're talking about marketing. I can tell you this, but I want to watch you practice it. Like I want to get, test. You have to get the skill. You have to engage. Remember, you have to engage on that treadmill. You have to work it out. You have to work out. I'm not going to do that work for you. I will guide you. I will teach you. I will give you resources. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what other people are doing. You test it out because certain things will work best for you. What will work for me may not work for you. So that's why you need broad knowledge. Was it yesterday I was sharing about entrepreneurs has to expose themselves to multiple disciplines: psychology, human behavior, communication, PR. I do a lot of press releases for when I'm hosting international, PR, marketing, sales. That's not what you went to. If that's not what you went to school for, you now have to expose yourself to new dimensions of knowledge. Then, because you didn't practice it, because if you were a medical doctor, you practice being a medical doctor, right? So if you're an accountant trying to be an entrepreneur and they're telling you about marketing and they're telling you about social media, give yourself time. Be kind to yourself. If you're failing, it's because you've not invested. Some people have been doing these things for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and you are just starting 2 months ago. And you expect to be getting the same results that somebody that has been at it for 10 years is getting. It's not reasonable. It's not. Don't do that to yourself. But I'm saying lay strong foundation, acquire the knowledge, acquire the skill, get to work. You're going to be better next year than you are today. Right? But I think people are holding themselves to a standard that it takes time to get to. The results that people are showing you, that they tell you, I did 10K today. Go and ask them how many years they've been at engineering that business. It's like you're seeing a farmer on the day of their harvest, and you did not bother to ask them a question. When did you plant the seed? Right? When you're planting the seed, educating your customers, showing up daily for them. Remember the customer journey. It might take a while for them to now say, okay, finally, we need everything you want. Right? So for me, this month, I'm doing the game plan for my members. If you miss it, if you're not ready, that's okay. But if you miss it, I will move on to my next program. But I'll put that video for you. You watch it. This is not funny, but I'm just saying that I have a game plan. Have a game plan for yourself. Have a game plan for yourself. Otherwise, the world will take you through the ringer. Right? Because every day the platforms will change their algorithm. They will do this, they will do that. And the biggest brands in the world, they have so much resources. They have teams, they have agencies, they employ agencies that they pay retainer. I come from that world. So I know that world very, very well. And I'm saying no. Now that I'm out here doing my thing, I'm doing all these global things. No. Right? I get to, and because I'm a strategist and a futurist, I will use that principle of David and Goliath. I will swing my rope or my stone. Pew! Do 30 minutes an hour and I'm out, moving on with my life. I'm not going to be doing because the platform wants you to spend, if you will spend all your life, even if you give it 24 hours. If that's first, imagine for some people that's their full-time job, social media manager, and then you want to make it your full-time job. Best of good luck to you there. Okay, I think I've said enough. God bless you all. Bye. And that's it. Any questions? No questions. On our membership. So do check out toyinumesiri.com. That's where you see the calendar of everything we're doing this month, the game plan. Please check it. Let me put that link out there. The game plan, toyinumesiri/the game plan, toyinumesiri.com/the game plan. You can learn more there. Thank you so much.